and Jeremy. Today is day 90 of reading. Today we're reading Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. Let's get started. We're on page 168. All right there, Scarhead, yelled Malfoy, shooting underneath him as though to show off the speed of his broom. Harry had no time to reply. At that very moment, a heavy black bludger came pelting toward him. He avoided it so narrowly that he felt it ruffle his hair as it passed. "Close one, Harry," said George, streaking past him with his club in hand, ready to knock the bludger back toward the Slytherin. Harry saw George gave the bludger a powerful whack in the direction of Adrian Pusey, but the bludger changed direction in midair and shot straight for Harry again. Harry dropped quickly to avoid it, and George managed to hit it hardly toward Malfoy. Once again, the bludger swerved like a boomerang and shot at Harry's head. Harry put on a burst of speed and zoomed toward the other end of the pitch. He could hear the bludger whistling along behind him. What was going on? Bludgers never concentrated on one player like this. It was their job to try and unseat as many people as possible. Fred Weasley was waiting for the bludger at the other end. Harry ducked as Fred swung the bludger with all his might, but the bludger was knocked off course. "Gotcha!" Fred yelled happily, but he was wrong. As though it was magnetically attracted to Harry, the bludger pelted after him once more, and Harry was forced to fly off at full speed. It had started to rain. Harry felt heavy drops fall onto his face, splattering onto his gas glasses. He didn't have a clue what was going on in the rest of the game until he heard Lee Jordan, who was commenting, say, "Slytherin lead, 60 points to 0. Slytherin's superior moves were clearly doing their job, and meanwhile, the mad bludger was doing all it could to try and knock Harry out of the air." Fred and George were now flying so close to him on either side that Harry could see nothing except their flailing arms and had no chance to look for the stitch, let alone catch it. "Someone's tampered with this bludger," Fred grunted, swinging his bat with all his might as it launched a new attack on Harry. "We need time out," said George, trying to signal to Wood and stop the bludger, breaking Harry's nose at the same time. Wood had obviously got the message. Madame Hooch's whistle rang out and Harry, Fred, and George dived for the ground, still trying to avoid the bludger. "What's going on?" said Wood as the Gryffindor team huddled together. How the Slytherin in the crowd jeers. "We're being flattened. Fred, George, where were you when the bludger stopped Angelina scoring?" "We were 20 feet above her, stopping the other bludger from murdering Harry." "Oliver," said George angrily, "someone's fixed it. It won't leave Harry alone. It hasn't gone for anyone else all game. The Slytherins must have done something to it." "But the bludgers have been locked in Madame Hooch's office since our last practice," said Wood anxiously. Madame Hooch was walking toward them. Over her shoulder, Harry could see the Slytherin team jeering and pointing in his direction. "Listen," said Harry as she came nearer and nearer. "With you two flying around me all the time, the only way I'm going to catch the snitch is if it flies up my sleeve. Go back to the rest of the team and let me deal with the rogue one." "Don't be thick," said Fred. "It'll take your head off." Wood was looking from Harry to the Weasleys. "Oliver, this is insane," said Alicia Spinnet angrily. "You can't let Harry deal with the thing on his own. Let's ask for an inquiry. If we stop now, we'll have to forfeit the match," said Harry. "And we're not losing to Slytherin because of a crazy bludger. Come on, Oliver, tell them to leave me alone." "This is all your fault," George said angrily to Wood. "Get the snitch or die trying. What a stupid thing to tell them." Madame Hooch had joined them. "Ready to resume play?" she asked Wood. determined look on Harry's face. "All right," he said. "Fred, George, you heard Harry. Leave him alone and deal with the bludger on his own." And let him deal with the bludger on his own. The rain was falling more heavily now, and on Madame Hooch's whistle, Harry kicked hard into the air and heard the telltale whoosh of the bludger behind him. Higher and higher Harry climbed. He looped and swooped, spiraled, zigzagged, and rolled. Slightly dizzy. He nevertheless kept his eyes wide open. Rain was speckling his glasses and ran up his nostrils as he hung upside down, avoiding another fierce dive from the bludger. He could hear laughter from the crowd. He knew he must look very stupid, but the road bludger was heavy and couldn't change direction as quickly as Harry could. He began a kind of roller coaster ride around the edge of the stadium, squinting through the silver sheets of rain to get to the Gryffindor goal post, where Dree and Pussy was trying to get past Wood. A whistling in Harry's ear told the bludger had just missed him again. He turned right over and sped into the opposite direction. "Training for the ballet, Potter?" yelled Malfoy as Harry forced to do a stupid kind of tour in midair to dodge the bludger, and he fled. The bludger trailing a few feet behind him, and then glaring back at Malfoy in hatred, he saw it. The golden snitch. It was hovering inches over Malfoy's left ear, and Malfoy, busy laughing at Harry, hadn't seen it. For an agonizing moment, Harry hung midair, not daring to speed toward Malfoy in case he looked up and saw the snitch. Wait! He had stayed still a second too long. The bludger had him at last, smashed into his elbow, and Harry felt his arm break. Dumbly dazed by the searing pain in his arm, he slid sideways on his rain-drenched broom, one knee still crooked over it, his right arm dangling useless at his side. The bludger came pelting back for a second attack, this time aiming at his face. Harry swerved out of the way, one idea firmly lodged in his numb brain. Get to Malfoy. Through a haze of rain and pain, he dived for the shimmery, sneering face below him, and he saw his eyes widen with fear. Malfoy thought Harry was attacking him. "What the?" he gasped, careening out of Harry's way. Harry took his remaining hand off his broom and made a wild snatch. He felt his fingers close on the cold snitch, but was now only gripping the broom with his legs. There was a yell from the crowd below as he headed straight for the ground, trying hard not to pass out. With a splattering thud, he hit the mud and rolled off his broom. His arm was hanging at a very strange angle, riddled with pain. He heard, as though from a distance, a good deal of whistling and shouting. He focused on the snitch clutched in his good hand. "Aha!" he said vaguely. "We've won." And he fainted. He came around, rain falling on his head, still lying on the field, with someone laying over him. He saw a glitter of teeth. "Oh no, not you," he moaned. Doesn't know what he's saying," said Lockhart loudly to the anxious crowd of Gryffindors pressing around them. "Not to worry, Harry. I'm about to fix your arms." "No," said Harry. "I'll keep it like this. Thanks." He tried to sit up, but the pain was terrible. He heard a familiar clicking noise nearby. "I don't want a photo of this, Colin," he said loudly. "Lie back, Harry," said Lockhart soothingly. "It's a simple charm I've used countless times. Why can't I just go to the hospital wing?" said Harry through clenched teeth. "He should really, Professor," said a muddy Wood, who couldn't help grinning even though his seeker was injured. "Great capture, Harry. Really spectacular. Your best yet, I'd say." To the thickest of legs around him, Harry spotted Fred and... Thank you, everyone. That's all for today. Bye. See you tomorrow.